what it is, man. This is the Green Room. ED and Mr. Gemini on the mic in a warm-up to a show about nothing.
Hello, mates, and welcome to the Green Room. I have no idea what. This is Mr. Gemini.
Dude, I mean, it's not like you're trying.
It's Mr. Gemini.
It's you. I feel like you're
your other personality.
Who else is in there with you?
Well, there's 5 of us all together.
Apparently, there is now. But yeah, Philly D.
Clickety clack effect because of CD.
Yeah, and special guest in the house.
Artie Hoffman, known as Artie Hoffman.
Also known as Artie Hoffman.
Artie the one-man party.
Dude, I mean, that's a dope name. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, that's pretty cool. How many people get to say that kind of thing? Like, you know?
Well, and actually have Artie parties.
I do have Artie parties.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, that is dope.
Darn that. We're going to start the show with this.
It's just the Green Room. He's just hanging out, buddy. He wants to get down too. Bears got to eat, bro.
There you go.
Fruit flies want to drink. You know, it's all good.
Okay, boo-boo.
But yeah, no, this is literally. So I mean, dude, you know, so I've been
Green Room. We just talks and stuff. We just it's a warm up for the show about nothing, which is.
Yeah, but see, I've been wanting to set it up more where it's like actually like chairs and stuff, like more Green Room style, where you're almost like Barca Lounger chilling, and then you still have the mics and everything. So it's like a little bit more even like, because you know what I mean, like really set the ambiance of it.
Oh, like a more chill scene.
Yeah, like a whole nother, like 2 separate recording areas. So it's like literal Green Room and then like the studio for I'm telling you. So you know,
Are we going to get the beach scene with the ocean and?
It'll be like projected on the wall, maybe.
Like coconut trees and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I got the aquaponics, so I feel like I would kind of keep that in there. So you get plenty of plants. And of course, I got candles rocking right now.
Wax. I don't know.
Whatever you kids are into these days, I'm not, not here to judge. It's Saturday night. You can do what you want.
Yeah, I went in a courtroom. I said, Your Honor, why do you have to be so judgmental?
Dude, dad jokes are bomb, but one-liner dad jokes are even fucking better. Well, look, so I was telling him earlier, so I do trivia on the side. And this week I'm doing Whose Line Is It Anyway, where I basically set up the punchline and you got to give me like the rest of it. So I'm like, here's your joke. What's the, and the first round is literally your mama jokes. And it's like, your mama's so old, she's like, or, your mama's so fat, she thinks, so you have to like finish the punchline for it. But
so this is like improving.
Pretty much. Yeah. And I'm going to, and the points don't really mean squat anyway. So I'm just going to pick the winner anyhow. So, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And that's all that matters.
So you get points on execution. So there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. It's just.
Dude, there is only right answers. There's only better right answers. You know what I mean? Like if you just fill it in, you're getting point. But if you can actually make me chuckle or laugh, or then, your points go up for that. Yeah. So yeah, it's how well can you make me laugh with this? But yeah, dude, there's going to be some pretty good ones in there. I'll have to, dude, actually I can bring this up for us. What's up? Oh, I love this.
ROF, LOL.
No, we can do.
What are we doing?
Oh, I was just going to bring up the actual questions because they're fucking hilarious. Dude, they were cracking me up like when I was writing them. Yeah, open this. I hate my damn thing. Oh yeah, there you go. How do you know? You know it's Christmas when, and you got to give me the joke. And you can be like as outlandish as possible. It's like when my Aunt Wendy starts drinking. It's like I don't know if that's true, but that's kind of funny. It's like you're gonna get points for that. So I'm setting you up for like, here's your joke. What do you got for me?
Here's your sound.
Well, wait. Did you hear the joke? Did you hear the joke? Why Frosty the Snowman had his zipper down?
Had his zipper down? Okay, I didn't.
You didn't hear that one?
No, I've never heard this one.
The reason why Frosty the Snowman had his zipper down because he heard the snowblower was coming.
That's like, you remember when you were a kid and you used to blow bubbles? Yeah, she's been looking for you. Oh, yeah, but dude, I love this. This is dope. We have
This is stuff all from grammar school. So.
It's even better. It's like fucking FICO. It's like, I haven't been fucked like that since elementary school. You're like, what? The hell was that shit? That's not funny. He just like totally wrecks the room.
There was a line, dude.
She crossed it.
There was a line, man.
Yeah, you know what? That was actually ad-lib. She ad-libbed that line. There was a whole set where they were like, give us just like really fucked up shit. And the first like 8, they're just like, we can't use this. That's literally the best they got from her, where they're just like, sure. Yeah, we're done. Wrap it. I'm finished with this shit.
It's like, talk to me dirty. I think I overstepped.
I heard, what's your safe word? What's your safe word? Oklahoma. Yeah, pretty much.
You know, Jackie the Joke Man. You heard of Jackie the Joke Man?
Oh, yeah.
One of his jokes, well, he's got a million and one jokes, but one of his jokes that I remember, he said, because you were saying, your mom was like this, your wife is like this. He says, your wife is so big that when she walked down the aisle, she sideswiped both sides of the family.
Dude, that's because that like goes back to what, like Casino? Not Casino. What the fuck? Which one was it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Damn it. The Joe Pesci when they're at the freaking, because that's when you do the whole clown scene. Why am I blanking on this right now?
Isn't it called
Goodfellas?
Goodfellas?
No, it was Goodfellas. That's why I was like, it's not Casino, the other one. But yeah, no, Goodfellas, because when he's up on stage and that's where he's like, hey, take my wife, please. All that kind of shit. Yeah, like was Benny or whatever. What's his name? The guy, because he also had like, didn't he have the
Henny Youngman?
Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw him in person. I thought he was very funny. I mean, I knew a lot of his jokes, but you know what? It's not so much as what the joke is. It's how you say it. It's how you say a joke. Yeah. Delivery and timing is very important when it comes to a joke. It's not just the joke, but timing and delivery.
Yeah, no, I agree. I
learned that when I used to suck at being a stand-up.
Well, because we've had that conversation plenty of times where it's like you could hear somebody tell a joke and it's just like, I mean, yeah, that's funny, but then somebody else tells the same exact joke, but all of a sudden they got like the delivery, they got the cadence, there's the tone and the temperament, and it's just like,
bro, you're creating an image.
It's funny, yeah,
you're creating an image.
You got to paint the word picture,
right? Yeah, and when I tell stories or when I tell jokes, I do. I think it's something I naturally. That's one of my gifts. I swear to God, it's a natural gift I have. It's just creating the image in the person's head and then just delivering it. Or when they think it's going to be one kind of a punchline, you go something totally opposite.
Pervert.
Did you ever hear what's the difference between beer nuts and deer nuts? You might like this one.
Oh, I think I've heard this one. I'm not calling it, but I think I've heard, yeah, what's the...
Beer nuts are $2 a pack and deer nuts are under a buck. Yeah.
And it's funny because I just heard that joke like 2 days ago.
Really?
Oh, for real? Man. Dude, that's awesome.
Again, of course it wasn't the first
and you're
time.
allowed to tell me that, Artie, I heard that joke already.
Those are classics.
But dude, I mean, so like I grew up in a Navy household, so my father told like the dirtiest of jokes at the dinner table. Like this is just, standard conversation at this point. So yeah, I mean, when you say those kind of things, I'm like, dude, it's been a while, but I know this one. Yeah, it's
just one after. Some people have just one after another, after another. After a moment, it's like for some reason it's just not funny. It's like it's just too much. Sometimes too much is too much.
Dave Chappelle and jokes, and you're just like, oh my god, there's so many jokes.
I don't know. That's why I found Mitch Hedberg so refreshing.
Dude, him, Stephen Wright, all those kind of guys.
Love Stephen Wright.
Right, his delivery.
Yeah, his opening is so funny. Stephen Wright starts off like this. He goes, funny thing happened to me 2 years ago. Or was that yesterday?
That was the guy on the couch, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was the guy on the couch.
Yeah,
Half-Baked. I love Steve Wright. I love him. I love his delivery. It's dry, slow. I think he's the slowest delivery comedian on stage, and so funny, so good at it.
I can agree to that.
See, I felt a similar way about Mitch. It was the timing of his and his cadence. Something about I haven't slept for 10 days because that would be too long.
Well, and and that's where I want to agree with Artie is like, yeah, dude, Stephen Wright probably like the longest, I mean, just like really stretched it out. Like just leaves it hanging. You're just, you like, you know it's coming, but you want him to say it.
Right,
you know?
but it's his delivery and the way he says things is what is so funny. It's not just what he says. You know, one of his other jokes is, it was like really late at night. I just had a bunch of drinks and it was really dark outside. I'm looking for my keys. I get my keys by accident. I put my car key in my house door knob, and so I started up my house. I took it for a drive around the block. A policeman pulls me over. He goes, "Where do you live?" I said, "Right here."
Dude, that's one of my more favorite bits by him.
I love that.
Dude, and it's but he's also like George Carlin in a sense, where he's very thought provoking. And not without really trying to, stand a certain position, but to just kind of like, can we at least think about this? So there was like a great intelligence, but then, yeah, his delivery on top of like how he tweaks it around to like give you that word picture. Yeah, he's
Steve Martin.
Oh yeah,
hysterical. He started off one of his shows like this. I don't know if, but anyway, this is how he started off one of his shows. He goes. And he's talking to he says, "Is there any parents here with little children in the audience?" And of course, a bunch of them, yeah, they're freaking. He goes, "I got a great joke to tell your little toddler." He goes, "There was these two hookers." He stops. He didn't say anything. There was these two hookers. It was just so funny.
Like, what?
Oh my God, dude, this guy gets me. He gets me, man. This is. Oh my God, yes.
Another fella goes like this. He goes, "There was this two Irishmen who walked into a bar." He goes, "What? That could happen."
Very good.
Oh, yeah, I always liked it where it was like, yeah, two guys walked into a bar. It's like, you think the second one would have ducked.
That's funny.
Dude, but those, like, I love
those little simple.
Yeah, but they also make you think, they're quick little quips almost, and just they have a great punchline, and it's very intelligent, but at the same time, like, absolutely asinine.
One of the two guys walking home together, and they decide they need to take a pit stop at the bridge, right? And the one looks at the other one for a second and goes, "Ooh, water's cold."
Yeah, deep too. Oh, see, I always got that one as like two guys at a urinal. And it's like white guy and a black guy at a urinal, right?
So I like it better off the bridge. That's even funnier.
Well, yeah, that's like, holy Jesus. Yeah, just for it to be cold is one thing, but yeah, it's like, yeah, no. That's why, that's the exaggeration. I guess that's the funny.
It was for me. I don't know. It was hilarious.
If I could work for me, I don't know. I got a problem here. This is how it works.
How are you judging me?
Because that's what I do. Dude, I gotta get my signs. 3.4. It's the only judging we do here. It's for points. It's not like for shame on you.
But you get extra points for sticking the landing.
Dude, you always get extra points for sticking the landing with me. The entire, dude, all the performance could have been horrible. If you're just like, boom, you mounted, their arms are up, and it's like you're sticking it. It's just like, you know what? They stuck the landing.
Top of the world, Ma.
Yeah, I got to give it to you just because you stuck it through. Good for you.
Nice
Very
land.
good.
Very good.
But that's just in life too. It's not just like, actual, I'm not talking, this is an analogy, air quotes analogy, in case you didn't pick up on that.
This works in all situations.
I don't want to be an Olympic judge. That's not what
One of my friends sent me a joke today, and it said, my dryer shrunk my clothes. Well, to find out, no, it wasn't my dryer, it was my refrigerator. Because the refrigerator, you gained weight, so my clothes don't fit anymore. And at first it was like, oh shoot, my dryer just shrunk my clothes. Oh no, I found out it was my refrigerator.
That'll do it. That'll absolutely do it. See, it wasn't this way, it was that way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Oh. Do you know, just that's the same thing as what do you Mr. Mom, where it's like, yeah, 220, 221, whatever it takes. It's not how that works, bro.
Sure. Sure.
Oh my God. Oh, but yeah, no, this is literally what we do in the green room.
Oh, this is what you do.
Yeah, no, we tell
totally
stories,
digging it.
we laugh our asses off, and usually drink. And so it's usually by the end when we've been drinking that we're laughing hysterically, especially him. He usually is like close to peeing himself. Like
A lot of times.
that's like the judge when he's like he's like literally like leaning over. It's like we got to be getting close to the end. He's about to lose his shit over here.
You gotta love it. Either you're so high, you're so tired, where anything is funny. You laugh at everything and anything because you're so tired.
Well, I mean, it's not just that, too. We get into some wicked conversations,
No.
you know?
I mean, but that's the thing. Yeah, we can have some like really in depth, like super amazing, like holy crap, where the heck did that come from? Where like we basically got out of each other's ways and it was just like two higher powers having a conversation with each other through us, but we record it and whatever. And then there's other times where yeah, we're literally like keeping ourselves from peeing on ourselves because we're just laughing that freaking hard and over stupid shit. It's like the dumbest stuff.
That's great.
Well, because we started developing this this puppet show called It's Puppets Bro. And we came up with a couple of characters. One of them is like a Ned Flanders type from The Simpsons, but him at like 19, 20 years old. So he's like fully developed and, you know, had all these weird life experiences. And then he has a cousin.
And his name is Christian Sidehug.
His name is Christian Sidehug.
That's funny.
Then he has this cousin who he's actually living with who is also like 19 or 20 years old. And he's basically Buffalo Bill when he's a kid. And they're cousins and they meet each other. And because the one's like, you know, they're such extremes, that's how you can see him become even further because it's just, I never get any privacy. You know, it's like, so he's just always like,
Where's the lotion?
yeah, but then you constantly get to make jokes about how he got fired from being a bathroom attendant because he was always telling people to put, you know, stuff in the basket or, and we just be going off about that stuff and we're just like pissing ourselves thinking about these ideas of like scenes and things.
We still have to pull it over from the multiverse, though. This will happen.
We got to write the sketches and get the skill.
If it's meant to happen,
scripts
it'll
and shit. And we've been meeting the right people where it's like, hey, you're a director. Hey, you're a writer. What are you guys doing? You want to work with us on this?
So here's the deal, right? I want to have a full puppet suit that covers my entire body so that I can stick my puppet hand up another puppet and that's my puppet show. Can we do this? I mean, has this been done? Because if not, I feel like there's some room here to...
I'm a guy's playing a puppet that's playing another puppet that's playing a puppet.
Has it been done? I'm just like, I don't know.
That's actually pretty funny.
So I'm a guy in a puppet suit, you know, a dude in a meat suit, inside a puppet suit. It's like turducken, you know what I'm saying?
I know. What was the joke on that? It's like, that sounds really uncomfortable. It's like, it depends on which puppet you are. It's like, if you're the last puppet, it's like, well, you know, where's the hand on that guy? Everybody else is like, hey, no, I'm inside of the puppet.
It's puppets all the way down, bro.
I don't, it's like
One of the puppets could be the Nutcracker.
I mean, but there's no holds barred. Everything goes because we're also trying to paint it as like almost like a Three's Company kind of scenario, like single scene sets and just like continuous running jokes and just what that kind of dichotomy would have between the two of them. And I think it's all the while.
Now we're meeting screenwriters, so maybe we could have something.
Well, that's what I was saying, bro.
Pitch the whole idea of these characters.
I'm telling
what
you,
their motivations are. And
I'm working it.
You know what I'm saying?
Already ahead of you. I'm on this.
I mean, we have people. Now.
We do now.
Did you hear what he said? He said, Artie already ahead of you.
This will be a thing.
Dude, right? Speak it into fruition, bro. Which we speak about that a lot, like law of attraction. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was saying earlier when we were talking about how you perceive on this said frequency. All this stuff is always around you. It's just whether or not at this point in time you can actually ingest it or are willing to accept it or, you know, whatever that means. So it's like, you know,
well, energy breeds energy. Energy is extremely contagious, whether it be positive or negative.
Agreed.
So you can manifest whatever it is you want. And people don't realize when they say, you know what, my life sucks, or, you know, I was dealt a bad hand, then change your hand. You know, people say to me, you know, and I say to them, you know, how is your day? You know, how you doing? And they go, you know, same shit, different day. I said, well, then change your shit. You know,
I like that. That's a good response.
And some people, I mean, let's be honest, because I've met a few. Some people out there are just happy being miserable.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I mean, you can't break them out of that if they're, you know.
Well, see, this is why I like Matthias DeStefano when he was talking about his story with his dad. And his dad, like, he didn't know him growing up. And finally, he's like this relatively well-known individual. He's not like super famous, but he's known. And his dad, you know, all of a sudden comes out of the woodworks and is like, hey, I want to, you know, hash things out and like redo this and whatnot. And somebody asked him, is like, hey, would your dad being like that and you being the way you are, it's like, do you try to like teach him or like, and he's like, no. That's not my job. He's like, my job is to do me, and being me is to just lead by example. He's like, so I shouldn't have to put that out there. He's like, I just am that. And if he wants to ask about it, well, then fine, we can talk about it.
Yeah,
but,
you teach by example. That's the best way to teach anybody.
I think so.
Example, just to be real. That's what's known as what's being real, is just by doing it or being it. You know, there's a difference between, you know, being nice and acting nice. You know, being nice is who you are. Acting nice is you're pretending to be nice. You know, anyone could be nice in the moment, but it's not really who they are. So that's the difference between being nice and acting nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, and I mean that's
It's totally deep, man.
We're
getting deep on
that's far out, man.
And that's what we've been having these kinds of conversations since we were like 13 and 14. So I mean, that's like when people come on, and that's why I love having in studio guests, because it's, you know, while we can do video and whatnot, and we can still get a decent dynamic and sense of energy and have a great time and conversation. In studio, we almost always have like a way better experience because you get that rawer sense, and you know, there isn't really any kind of interpretation. Like you're just in the moment more. Yeah, I love doing this.
Yeah, that's what improv is all about. You know, improv is about being funny in the moment or just responding in the moment. That's what improv is. And you know, it's interesting. Again, I told you I was in an attempt to become a stand-up comic. I had natural comedic abilities, but I was always good at bouncing off of people, situations, conversations, always easy to be funny. But there's a difference between just going up on stage and just being raw funny for the sake of being funny. But when there's dynamic going on, I was brought up in that. It was like second nature to be funny, to always bust in each other. Or, you know, my brother, you can't even finish a freaking conversation without him interrupting to have to say something, ever.
It's like his job. You got
us.
You know? And so it was something that, you know, it just, you know, I was always known as, I didn't realize this until high school reunion. Like at my high school reunions, people would go up to my wife when I was married at the time. They would go, oh my God, Artie was like the class clown. He was so funny. And I didn't realize that people looked at me as a class clown, because to me, when I just banter with friends, just joking around or saying stuff, it was just as common as blowing your nose.
Funny words would just come to you.
It would just come naturally, not trying to, hey, look at me, I'm trying to be funny, or I'm trying to, you know. No, it just happened, you know. It was natural. But but there is a difference, you know, and I said this to one of my friends the other day. I said, there's a difference between being a comedic actor, comedy actor, and doing stand-up. It's two totally different energies. To be able to do both, you're really good. You are really, really good. If you could do both, you know, because some people aren't that great at stand-up, but they're so funny at being comedic actors, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
You know? Robin Williams.
Comedic actor, I would think it's like more the long game. Like you can do the again jokes. You know what I mean? Like when something comes back around, that's what, you know. But you have time for that, you know, where you might not necessarily have that on a stage when you're doing stand up, especially when you start off, because usually it's like an open mic and you only get so much time. And
well, see, to me, like that's what I've said. A lot of the better sets that I've seen of comedians, you have this story basically the entire set, whether it's 5 minutes, 15 minutes, half hour, an hour, they usually somehow or another the first few minutes they have their relative set of those jokes, and somehow or another through the entire conversation or all the other jokes, they get to that close, and it basically loops you back around to that first one. So it's almost like writing an essay where you're like, hey, this is what we're going to talk about, and this is where it's at, and here's my evidence of it, and this is what it is, and here's what I get from it. And it's just like, that's the ultimate joke, because you're getting that again. You're coming back to what was on that front part, and you're just like, oh shit, because now you go from being funny to all of a sudden it's like, shit, now I'm thinking about that.
Oh, if you're thinking, you lost. You have to just be in the moment. There is this one, there's always that funny moment of the past that you'll remember. It could be this most minor little thing, or something that somebody said on a TV show or on stage as a comic or whatnot. And there was this one heavy-set dude, and he wasn't anything to look at, and he made fun of himself. He really did. He made himself look good by acknowledging the way he was. And he says, when I was younger, he goes, the only time I had a cigarette, he said, I used to be a smoker. He said, but the only time I had a cigarette is after sex. And he goes, I haven't had a cigarette in a long time. He goes, I'm dying to have a cigarette.
Yes. Maybe like a whole pack.
Yes.
He goes, my goal is to become a chain smoker.
Oh my God! Yes, dude. When you can again and again, and dude, like that's that's like, going back to Stephen Wright, because he would do that as well. Like not only just his delivery, but his jokes. Like he would say something, give you a punchline, and then another punchline, and then you're just like, how? And he just
but then 10 minutes later it comes up again, and that's the where it really, for me, takes it over the top, where you reference it again, then you add another twist,
Yeah, because it's the base of the joke of many jokes.
It's like, I think that one just died down. Let me just give it a push.
Joke grenade. Just throw that over there. Wait
for it.
It'll go in a second. It's a joke grenade. Of course it's going to wait. But yeah, no, that's why I really enjoy like Dave Chappelle stuff from that structure standpoint, because he also adds in psychology into his set as well. Most people don't realize this, but for the longest time, he's done this thing where he smacks the mic on his leg, and it's usually after almost every joke. And it's become this thing where if all of a sudden he doesn't get a laugh from the audience, he laughs, smacks the mic on his thigh, and now all of a sudden the audience just laughs. He's conditioned his audience, even in that short period of time, because even if they've seen his act once before, they're now aware of this, and it's their trigger.
Funny, yeah.
So he's very intelligent with what he does. He's on so many different levels. I mean, that's why when he got the Mark Twain Award, I was like, dude, yeah, he's a bomb writer. He's really smart.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I have nothing against him. I just really never gave it any time or attention to see him perform. It's like a couple of times here and there, but I don't remember anything specific about him.
I'm an avid fan. I've loved the movies he's been in. I love the Dave Chappelle show, but I mean, I'm a fan of intelligent comedy. That's why, like George Carlin. I mean, I love him. He's dope. I mean, I grew up on Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and George Lopez, and coming from the West Coast and stuff. So it's like I've been taught dirty ass humor, but also very intelligent. And so I love those good one-liners.
It's known as being a smart ass.
Yeah, no shit.
like Gallagher.
Dude, I've seen him so many times. I've seen 3 or 4 times. I've seen him live.
He's clever with the words.
Yeah.
I saw Robin Williams perform. I saw him perform live at Rutgers. It was my first date with one of my girlfriends back in the day when I was 19. He's so fast, or was so fast with his lines. It's like, whoa, you don't get a chance to, he already went on to 4 jokes by the time you just got the first one, and you're laughing at the first one. But the funniest line I've ever heard in person, we actually came from Robin Williams. And, I shouldn't say actually came from Robin, because he was such a funny guy. But anyway, somebody was heckling him in the audience, and he stopped doing what he was doing. And he goes, I look at this entire audience like it's the human body. And as perfect as God has made the human body, he goes,
I can feel it coming already.
He goes, even the human body has one asshole. And the whole place was roaring
I think
on
we
that
just
one.
found him.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Robin Williams so hard. Yeah, we've talked about him a bunch of times. I mean, as an actor, comedian, a human being, like everything. I mean, he's just because going back to like what you were saying, there's so few people that can be a stand-up comedian, but also a comedic actor, and like he's one.
And
of
he's
the few.
one of them. Yeah.
And they're both hard to do and taxing on their own, but
But for him, it just comes so naturally. I mean, granted, he was high most of the time when he did his stuff.
Oh yeah, back in the 80s and the 70s.
Yeah,
and
he was
stuff,
definitely high most of the time.
Oh yeah, and he admits it.
Yeah.
he really does.
But hey, whatever gets. And same thing with John Belushi.
Yeah, right.
Same.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
But he was brilliant under those circumstances. And some of the greatest music ever written was while they were dropping acid or getting high on this,
Oh
that, and the
yeah,
other
dude. The
thing.
Beatles talk about that. Jimi
Yeah.
Hendrix.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of my favorite quotes from Jimi Hendrix. He was doing an interview, and somebody said to him, very flatteringly, you make such your music is just, like, and they're just like being grandiose and just like overly and just like, oh my god. And he's like, dude, if you think what I play is good, he's like, you should hear the stuff in my head. Because he's like,
Right?
this is the best I can do to take all
it's
that's up
nowhere
in
near.
here, and it's like, and you think it's amazing. It's like, dude,
You're getting like
I got
every
a
fourth
way better
note.
party here. Yeah. Dude, pretty much. And I'm like, wow, like and I
know what that should be called? Double standard. That type of situation.
But that's like the idea, I guess, of, especially like you were saying, because a lot of them, the 27 Club, a lot of them were, some form of abuse. I mean, whether it was drinking or
just brought up
drugs
27.
or both, or, but it's almost like opening the doorway, or not even so much that, but it's like standing out of the way so that the doorway's open and it just like comes through you and you're just a conduit at that point, but I think you get to,
You said 27 though. I just have to say,
isn't it the 27 Club?
wait, because I've been trying to catch up on who you are, Artie. And there's something about age.
Who am I?
There's something about age.
Who am I?
Age 27, something happened to you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. No,
I'm pretty impressed.
I've been doing my
we do
homework.
our
Wow.
homework, bro. Yeah, man. These
I'm
two
impressed.
especially, yeah.
I told you, I got a good read. I was really excited about coming in tonight and having a conversation with you, a talk, whatever. We don't like to call it interview, but I definitely started thinking about questions as I was listening to you talk. So
Oh, cool. Yeah, at the age of 27 is when I learned how to do what I do as far as psychic and mediumship.
And how did that happen? Like, what was the...
I got a postcard sent to me in the mail, believe it or not. I had no gift growing up. Wasn't born with it, didn't have it, 000, nothing, nada. And I got this postcard in the mail, and I looked at it, and it said, how would you like to develop your psychic ability and intuitiveness? Come to the Edgar Casey Foundation for this one weekend seminar in Virginia Beach. So I looked at my wife, who was my wife at the time. I said, wow, this looks really exciting. I said, I didn't know you could learn how to do this. I said, you want to give it a shot just for the hell of it? She says, no, I don't give a shit about that. You can go if you want. She says, I don't want to go. Hence the ex-wife. So I went. And
now you can see shit. She's like, I can't get away with nothing with you.
Nothing. So I went away for that one weekend, and it literally changed my life forever. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't looking at it like, God, this is the answer to my prayers. And I was asking God for answers at that time too.
Okay.
And I said, God, I need clear answers. I mean, everything was going right in my life, but I wasn't fulfilled inside.
I feel that.
Everything was going good. The marriage, house, job, families, everything was perfect, but I just wasn't, I knew there was something more, and I just wasn't satisfied. So I go away, and they taught you, there was 50 of us from all different parts of the country in this one large room at the Edgar Casey Foundation, right across the street from the ocean. And they taught you how to get in the zen, in that zone where you're like in la la land, and with the music and the way they were speaking and stuff. And it's not a cult. It's just spirituality. It's just pure love. It's just pure understanding your gut, your instincts. And so he says, when you break up, and he says, when we break up and you're with different people, in little groups, just share your thoughts. Don't question it. Don't worry what the picture is, what the thought is, to share it with the person. And a lot of people were telling me how accurate my read was, what I had to say. I go, really? I mean, I'm just meeting this person for the first time, and I'm telling them shit about themselves. I go, really?
I'm just whipping shit out of the air over here.
I'm just pulling this out of my ass. I didn't know that you could relate to it.
And you're like, what? What did I say?
Now, exactly. As they were doing back to me, I said, cut the shit. no, but they were doing that to me. And so I went home and I got myself a deck of spiritual cards, and I started reading for friends and family for the next few years, just for the fun of it. And again, people were telling me how accurate I was with my readings. And I was blown away every time somebody told me something that would happen or has happened or whatnot. I was like, wow. And then I got to a point in my life where I needed extra money for investment purposes. And I'm thinking, other than the job that I do, I said, what else can I do to make some extra money? And I'm thinking, and I said, you know what? I know how to do readings. I said, I'll throw an ad in the paper, and it said, if I don't pull through, no charge. Not the case today, though. But it did say, because I didn't want the pressure of money and the psychological pressure for, so if I pull through for you, pay me, and if not, hey, we just shared some time together, no problem.
That's dope. Yeah,
and 90% of the people paid me. And
That's
the other
awesome.
10% I had to kill.
we don't talk about
We don't talk about them. Right now, I just communicate to them, those people, and there's a big forgiveness thing going on right now. But they understood. They didn't pay me. Come on, it's my time. I'm worth something. I have value.
It is funny, but part of me, I'm not sure, man. I don't know. There's some real skeletons out there.
Yeah, let me slap you across the head a few times. Maybe you'll get it.
You know nothing.
So, and then through word of mouth and a little more advertising, it just took off. And it's now 34 years later. I've read for over 30,000 people in my life. And I've been on Fox TV. I've been on many radio stations. I've done events, fundraisers, everything, parties, private events. I've read for famous people, regular
I feel like you're just going along for the ride. I mean,
yeah, more or less. It's like I feel very blessed. And the weird thing is, this is a true story. The whole thing's damn true. But whether you believe it or not, it's damn true, I tell you. Screw you all if you don't believe me. No. But I was always the black sheep of the family. Seriously. I was always, raised in a Jewish family. Everybody, you go to school, you get a good job. So not me. I did everything very unorthodox, but not a bad kid. Just did things off the cuff.
I feel you on that.
And I just did my own thing. And every single time I would get into something new, my family was, what's Artie into now? Or my friends would say, what's Artie doing now? And stuff. But I was just me being me. But I found it. So this is the cool thing. Growing up in junior high and high school, I really did. I always dreamed about becoming a therapist, a psychologist, but I didn't have the brains or the patience for school. I just sucked at school. I wasn't scholastic. Very well liked by my peers and my teachers, very well liked, funny, the whole 9 yards. But when it came to school, I just couldn't grasp it. My comprehension sucked and stuff. So when these two books that I write, I wrote it. I talk about very deep subjects, but I explain everything very simplistically because I know what it's like when you're trying to understand something big. It has to be broken down. So with the two books that I wrote it just that way so that everyone could understand deep topics. So I talk, why do bad things happen to good people? Why do good things happen to bad people?
Nice.
There's a big reason. Or if there really is a God, then why would God allow so many children to suffer and get killed? And I don't believe in God because, they killed my, life took my child at an early age, took my lover at an early age. My parents shouldn't have suffered like that. Blah, blah, blah. But and so when I bring it down, I said, well, God gave everybody free will. God loves everyone unconditionally. God gave everybody free will. And I says, but you have to remember,
God also gave you that relationship that you now lost. So,
yeah.
So you got to look at it that way too.
But the big thing is, because this is what hits home with people, I said, now look at Jesus. All right, now I'm a Jewish guy. I said, now look at, even though he was Jewish, but that's besides the point. Yeah. So
mystical Judaism.
There you go.
Funny, she doesn't look Jewish.
But you have to remember, when Jesus was being beaten, God didn't stop that from happening. Nope. And he went through his torture and pain. So, and I bring that to light that Jesus went through it. It could have stopped it in a dime. He didn't have to go through that. But he allowed himself to, because he was a spiritual person living a human experience. And he was hoping that they wouldn't go through that process. But they did, as far as the beating and the hurting and all that stuff. But he allowed himself to experience that, for the sake of human mankind. So, and I explain that to people. So, you're saying that why would God allow all these bad things happen to all these innocent, beautiful people? But you have to remember what he allowed to happen, even with the Jewish people, all the years of slavery and the blacks and the years of slavery and Jesus getting beaten and a bunch of other things. It goes on and on and on and on and on.
But that in a way is representative of the best side of humanity. And even the best side of humanity has suffering. It's part of being human.
Exactly. The most spiritual people in the world have gone to hell and back, have experienced the most incredible depth of hellish experience, because you got to experience the worst that life has to offer, so that when you do have better or the best, you could appreciate, or you could understand. There's a difference if, God forbid, 1 billion times you lost a child, and I said to you, I'm so sorry, I can understand what you're going through, but I never lost a child, so right. I can't understand, and thank God I don't want to. But a lot of people say, I know how you do. And a lot of people get offended. No, you don't understand. You don't understand how I feel, because you've never gone through it, So that's why it's the moral of the story. It's better to go to a female gynecologist than a male gynecologist, because they'll understand more of the pains you're going through, what you're going through.
Wow.
So,
and I'm not a doctor, but I'm just, just giving advice.
Hey, but kudos to those men gynecologists. I wish I had that job. No, so, but the weird.
No, you don't.
So the thing is,
I can't.
We're having a Kodak moment right now.
Fuck, no, so I have like a movie screen in my head, and like shit just like runs across it. So there's all these different scenes of like movies and other jokes of all, and I'm just like, dude, my brain is just like, keep it going. These are some fun. I'm like, this is fucking funny.
Funny shit, man. Whoa,
Jesus Lord.
See, I get high on secondhand smoke myself. So therapists come to see me for answers. So that's what's really cool. So I never went to college. Seriously, I never went to college. But because I went into my spirituality, and the spiritual world will feed me answers. Like, so I'm a medical intuitive. I get people on with what's going on in themselves, even with their pets, communicating to the other side, legal stuff, love, marriage, predicting future love, predicting what's going on with this. Oops. Sorry.
That's Al right here.
I didn't predict that. Sorry about that.
Oh, we're all good. Hey, this is the green room. Shit happens.
This is all a part of it. Being spontaneous in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all right. I spilled a beer on this last week, so it's still alive.
All right, cool. Well, hopefully it's still alive.
Yeah. My father made this table for me. This thing is indestructible.
So,
continue. I got this. No, go.
No, it totally threw me off. What the hell was I talking about?
You lost me.
Was I talking about piggy in the blankets at a Jewish wedding? Like, what was I talking about?
Why did that happen? That's what.
See, there's a reason why that happened in the moment. It was like, there you go.
There's a reason for everything.
It's like, going with the flow.
That would be a good. I mean, yeah. Is coincidence even a real thing? I mean,
no, there's no such thing as coincidence. Seriously, there's no such thing as a coincidence. Coincidence is just for human understanding, but everything happens with purpose and reason.
I wanted. I didn't even mention it to Phil yet either, but I got a sense of you from trying to do my homework and watch some of the videos that I was able to find on YouTube.
Oh wow, thank you.
And
I really am impressed.
I was trying to tell him right before you showed up that I got a feeling of like just kind of like your energy was very reminiscent of somebody else that I know, and somebody that kind of skyrocketed me into the sort of interest in occult and stuff like that. Like, not that I joined a cult. I'm saying occult, like the hidden stuff, the stuff that, seek and you shall find. Right. Kind of what drove me along that whole path. And he was one of those people that was very
inspirational,
powerful, and kind of knocking and going, hello, who's in there? Like, what's under that hat was one of the first things he said to me. And as I was going through his line at the 7-Eleven. So he's on register, and it was just bang right there. And I mean, we're still friends, but I don't see him that often because he's kind of distant and he can never come to me. And I got 2 kids, and But this guy was just there's a similar energy, and he even I think went on after we kind of split off a little bit, like not for any bad reason. Like I said, just life goes on. But I saw when I was kind of looking for him one day, I saw that he was doing psychic medium stuff.
Oh, okay.
Which didn't really surprise me in the least because he was, and that's probably something to do with the energy thing. Is that
it all has to do with feeling it in the moment?
He was.
It literally is. You don't question it. When me as a psychic or a medium, it's all strictly based on blind faith. So it blows me away that I have the capabilities, and I mean that sincerely. I'm not joking. It blows me away that I could tell somebody something before it even happens. Like, I don't take it for granted because, like I said, it's like the movie Ghost. Like, when Patrick Swayze, who's on the other side, thank you. When Patrick Swayze is on the other side and he's telling you this information based on what's going to happen or what has happened, whatever.
Right.
And they said, Art, this came true. So I got to tell you this really cool story.
Yeah.
I got to share with you this really cool story that you're going to appreciate. So I'm at the ice cream store, this very popular ice cream store near where I live. And there was a bench right along the building, which a lot of ice cream stores have. There's always a bench. And there was 5 people sitting right there.
They really do have a lot of benches. Like, I don't, ice cream stores have benches. That's so true.
Yeah.
And so there was 5 people, sitting there having their ice cream. And so I'm about to get into my car, licking my ice cream. As I'm getting into my car, the lady said to me, I like your license plate because my license plate says, I just know. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, yeah. I said, I have that there because I'm a psychic. And she goes, I know. You read for me 3 years ago. And she goes, and you predicted him, my husband. I go, really? Now, mind you, I don't remember meeting her.
Right.
I don't remember, let alone what I said to her.
Right.
And she said, I had him listen to your tape because back then, the cassette tapes. Right. I had everybody record on the cassette.
Right.
Now they can record on their phones.
Right.
Whenever I do a session, I tell everybody record it on your phone.
Yeah.
Because there's so much shit that I say you're not going to remember.
I've been following along, so I did get that.
Yeah. So she said, I said, well, what happened? She goes, well, you told me that his first name starts with the letter J. She goes, his name is J. You described his personality. You said he was either a mechanic or a carpenter. He's a mechanic. And you described his background and his nationality and everything. And then the guy looked at me. He goes, dude, I listened to that tape. He goes, you hit me dead on. You really did. And I go, wow. So it's like, so when people tell me this, it doesn't feed my ego like I'm great. I never assume that I'm great
like
at
relief,
what I do.
Right? I mean,
what it is, it's like, oh, I'm good enough to keep on doing this. I'm good at, it's like the angels or the spiritual world is feeding me, letting me know, like, don't worry, we got your back, by these moments happening.
do you,
That was confirmation from the universe.
Yeah, right?
That loud truck going by. No noise whatsoever. All of a sudden, you can actually hear that as you say that. So there's the universe agreeing with you, brother.
do you ever get a cold shoulder?
Do I ever get a cold shoulder? What do you mean?
When you're trying to commune,
do I ever
do you ever get an attitude or just a joke or
from the spiritual world or from the people I'm reading?
From the spiritual world, yeah. No, from the spiritual world, a sense of humor from an angel kind of thing.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Some of the funniest jokes and the funniest moments happens, when I get these messages and I'm saying, and I'm laughing my ass off. It's coming out of my mouth, but it's like, oh my God, that was so freaking funny.
I can't stop. It feels so good.
It
just keeps coming out. Yeah.
Here I am. I'm doing a reading for this one lady, very beautiful lady, and she lost her husband. They both had great personalities, and he had a dynamite personality, very joking. She was joking, but she was okay with it. She was accepting of it. She goes, yeah, I wish he was here. She goes, but, what am I going to do? But, she had this positive, she believed in God. She believed in the afterworld, the whole thing. It was just very refreshing. And So her husband says, honey, it's killing me not to be with you. I go, that was so funny. You know? And that's coming from a guy who's dead, who passed away.
He's already pulled over.
I said,
Dude, but that's like,
and I didn't think of that. It just came to me from somebody else.
and I feel, and that's the thing is, I feel like with the way the universe is, these omnipotent, all-knowing, beautiful powers, and dude, like, to me, it's like, how can you not have a sense of humor? Same thing you were saying before with like people, they have to suffer in order to be able to be nice or grow from that.
No.
I feel like the same thing is like, in order for you to be funny, it's like you have to have known pain because you have to be able to commiserate or find peace with it. And it's like, so any and all of that, there's a journey to it.
Well, most stand-up comics, most stand-up comics are depressed, and most of them go see a therapist. Most of them, and I'm not even joking. That's not even a joke. That's
if you
true.
check any of the documentaries, or that's like common knowledge.
You get on that circuit, right? No, can you help those guys out with that? I'm saying
you can clean house.
I'm not a doctor.
You screw an agent. He's like, no, you're going to show up here next Thursday. That's going to be the spot. I got you. Like, there's a whole new gig for you here. I love this,
bro. The first one's free. I'm just saying. First one's free. It's on the house.
There you go.
That's how they get you a crack too, man. That's the best marketing. It really is.
No, but like I said, I love doing what I do. I feel very blessed to be in this position, and answers come to me naturally about life, about spirituality. As far as geometry and calculus, screw that. I don't know. Can't help you out there, but. So it's really cool. So here I am. People call me their psychic, their psychic therapist, and I literally have therapists who come seek me for answers, and I think it's very cool. I feel very flattered when another psychic will come to me for an answer, or a therapist will come see me for an answer, or mediums. So it's very flattering. I mean, granted, I have like a bunch of friends that are psychics and mediums themselves. And now people a lot of times will ask me, or can you read for yourself? And most of the times I can't. And most psychics and mediums can't read for themselves, because you don't know if it's coming through spiritually or if this is your ego, And so when you're reading the cards, or you're trying to read the cards on yourself, it's your energy being put into it. Is this coming through spiritually, or is this what you want, or it's too good to be true and I don't believe it? So it's a big mind.
You always need somebody. You
need an outside force. So I'll ask 2 or 3 of my friends, literally, and see if their stories
connect. Therapist always needs a massage. Mechanic always has a POS.
Right.
It's just
the same thing with a doctor. A doctor can't work on himself.
Right.
And the common saying.
Of course.
And the common saying.
I just got that picture in my head, but like, I got this. No, you don't. Yeah. Put it down, Frank. What are you doing? Dear God.
You cannot give yourself your own vasectomy. Cut it out. I don't care how hard you try. There you go.
Oh my God. Yes. Dude, I'll tell you, I'll be honest. I think I'm excited for doing I'm Telling You, because now that we're doing video and stuff, I'm looking forward to actually getting you to kind of maybe do your thing and like show the world, I guess. I don't know. That's like how I'm looking at it. Like,
we are the world.
Yeah, you know what?
I was saying too, like, I want to spotlight that, but at the same time, this is a conversation. Like, there's a couple things I know I want to ask, but I'm trying to what did I just say? I'm trying to be in the now. Tonight, just
like I said, I mean, one of the
you don't want to think too much. You just want it to come naturally.
Yeah. But the one question I did want to ask is, like, depending on how it is, what you do, and how you do, and what it is, because I never want to, preload something in a fashion where it's just like I can get like, "Hi, I got you," and it's like you said that, and it's like because I want to get as feasible of an answer as possible. But yeah, one of the questions that I wanted to ask was like whether or not we get syndicated as like this kind of a show, and especially like, is it possible that this could happen in the next year?
Because it seems like,
dude, we're at a place where we're starting to meet the right people, and we've been at it for 2 years, so this would be our third year, and we agree with the whole 369 and just being in the flow of frequencies.
So long as you keep the positive energy going and you do your little spiritual things to manifest, positive energy will make you huge. It'll make you huge. There's going to be a connection with you in Denver, and I don't know why. I just saw something with Denver.
Who?
I mean, I know some cats out in Colorado.
So
Like
I feel like
this
there's
or
I don't. Don't ask. You got the vision, not me, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, but when we're talking about business or something, I feel like there's going to be somebody who's maybe based out of Denver, or you're going to be doing a show syndicated to that area. But I just saw something with Denver. It just came to me.
I mean, I do like Colorado. It's a dope state. I've been there many times.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, but I strongly believe if you believe that you are going to do it, then I believe it is going to happen.
I keep saying it's just it's the appreciation of these kind of moments.
Yeah.
That's really, I mean, I'd like to see more money. Who wouldn't? But you know what I mean? Like, we don't get paid from this. This is,
if I tell somebody like, oh yeah, do you see me becoming a millionaire at doing whatever it is I do? And I say, yeah, I could see you being very successful. I can see you making millions of dollars. I can see you doing this and that. But just because I said it, what I'm telling you is, the probability of it happening is very good. But if you all of a sudden sit on your ass after, I already said I was going to be a millionaire. I already said I was going to be successful. Kick back. We don't have to work as hard. It's it's going to happen. No, it's only happening based on the energy of what you're giving it in the now.
Agreed.
So so long as your passion is there, and so long as you stay light on your feet, so long as you don't allow the ego world to, screw you up, and you just keep the same dynamic and chemistry going, then the universe will open up the doors, and more important people will come about and to make it happen.
the energy that goes into this is authenticity.
Yeah. So if I may extend the question, there's perspectives of us being able to have Tommy Chong or Dan Aykroyd on. What? Are these possible? Is there anything you can say about that?
Hold on. I'm going to ask you. Do you have a deck of cards on you or anywhere?
Bro, yeah, I have.
It's out, dude. I put it on the table.
I know, right?
Both of them.
I just need.
But I know which one he's going to pick anyway. So
I'm going to bring them both.
You could bring any of them. I don't need tarot cards. Funny thing is, I do have tarot cards, but I don't read them. But when I flip them over, it just sends me energy. When I look at tarot cards, but when people say, "Oh, what does that mean? What does that mean?" Damned if I know. I don't know.
You're right.
I really don't know. It's just the
a standard deck of cards is directly from the original tarot deck. It's a representation. It's truncated.
Well, I know now.
As well as it's the seasons, because it's 13, which is 13 weeks, and there's four different seasons. 52 weeks, 52 cards.
Right, bro, those are yours, right? Those are.
Oh yeah, these are my angels. But yeah,
Right.
We had fun, we had joy, we had seasons in the sun.
fucking love this guy. Dude, you
One-man
literally
party.
are a comedian. Like, I love
comedian.
that.
I love
Yeah,
that.
dude, that shit it's catchy.
All right, so you're going to be, there's something about classes that you guys are going to need to go to, something with classes.
Speech therapy.
And I'm not sure if it has to do with delivery with the audience. I don't know if it has to do with marketing. But there's something with classes that you're going to want to be a part of. Financially, it might be a little tight, but yet it's still going to be worth it. Oh, wow. So while you're busy doing what you love to do, something with the family, I don't know if this is one of you or both of you. Not sure, because there's two of you here, so I'm not sure. Sometimes when I think I'm reading him, I might be reading him, or vice versa, or whatever.
Yeah.
So because I have two energies here, could be you too, lady.
Pay attention, woman.
Pay attention, woman. That's right. So what I'm getting is one of the challenges of being successful is going to be balance with family and keeping success, because it's like when the time comes and you want to be with your child or be with your family, or they want to be with you. It's like, I don't have time. I want to, or let's do it at a later time. You can't keep putting them off, because the reason why I say that is because when I flipped the cards just now, I heard this song by Harry Chapin Carpenter, A Child Arrived Just the Other Day. It came to the world in the usual way. So all of a sudden, it's like
Cat's Cradle.
Cats in the Cradle, yeah.
And that has special meaning for me because it's very literal in its expression, and I identify with that.
So both of you do. So, but like I said, so while you're being successful, it's very important that it's not always of quantity, but it's quality of time. So when you're with whoever you're with, you need to be with them.
Yeah.
And not just physically in the same room and while they're doing their thing. It's like you want to interact with them because they'll remember those moments, and it's very important to give the quality.
Yeah, I agree with
whether
that.
it's for me or both of us, I'm really feeling, I understand exactly what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's just a great thing to think about for all, like not just you, me. I mean, like for everybody. It's just,
And the funny thing is, like, and I never really felt that, I never felt at all that disconnect with me and my dad, but like my dad was a fan of folk music. So I was raised with that song. And that's always been a fear of mine, that whenever I hear that song, it makes me want to cry, because I'm like, I hope that's not the future I give my kids.
yeah.
Well, the thing is, you can't say what you just said. No, I'm serious. Number one, that is your father pulling through. All right, for that to happen, this is your father pulling through. But at the same time, if you say, I'm afraid that will happen, then that could very well happen, because you're saying, I am afraid that. When you're saying whatever it is.
It's just when I listen to that song, though, because it brings that up.
But you're only allowed to say to the universe only what it is you do want. You're never allowed to say, I don't want to grow old, poor, and alone. You're not allowed to say those words. Otherwise, you're going to grow old, poor, and alone.
Tell me that stuff all the time.
Yeah, but you need to say exactly what you want.
Law of attraction.
So your law of attraction, 100%. So it's like when girls come to see me, say about their future love, and say, they say, I don't want an asshole in my life, or I don't want a jerk, I don't want a cheater, don't tell me what you don't want, tell me what you do want.
Yes.
You want somebody who is loyal and handsome and honest and fun and kind. You want somebody with great family values, with great sexual energy, somebody who is a good communicator, somebody who's emotionally and physically available.
Yes.
Somebody who has a caring and generous heart, someone who,
So would you say while you're making that list, you should just copy it over for yourself as well? And
you look at
work on all those things first. Yeah. That's what you want to pull in, right? Because frequency is, you're going to pull like.
Yeah, right? I was doing a party. I was doing one of my Artie parties at this girl's house, and I was very attracted to her, and I didn't know if she was available or not. And so anyway, she's with her friends, and they're all like, because there's two different types of Artie parties. There's either the kind in the group where everyone's in the same room, and I read for everybody in front of everybody, or I do individual readings where I go into a private room, like a bedroom or a finished basement or something, and I read individually for 15 minutes or a half hour, whatever. And so there was this one girl who I'm like, whew. And so anyway, she said to me, and I was shocked that she was available, or that she was, and she goes, I said, so what do you want to know about? She goes, I want to know about my future love. And inside I went,
I can't read if it involves me.
So I went, I did one of these like this.
You did the thinking, man.
I did the thinking part, and I pretended, because I was pretending at this point. And I looked at her and I said, your future husband's going to look exactly like me.
Yes.
Exactly. His personality, his looks, everything. Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like this. All right.
Yeah.
So it took me a few moments to get back in that zone so I could actually read her. Like that, because I could never. I mean, I've dated a couple of girls who I've read for. I don't do it too often. It's rare, but
you can't plan that kind of thing.
But the thing is, I can't. You're right. I can't plan. I mean, my last two wives, Yes, 2 wives. Actually, there's 3, but the last 2 wives were strictly from my. I met them because of my readings. Actually, my second wife, she was my Tellin agent. She was an agent, and but she was like breathlessly drop dead gorgeous, and I looked at her. I go, "There's no way." And at the time, I was married. She was engaged. True. I was married. She was engaged for like 10 years or whatever. And I said, "There's no way." And to me, that was just a fantasy. Like, there's just no way. That's like, it's like, being with one of the Victoria's Secret models. It's like, there's just no way. And then lo and behold, what allowed the universe took over, and I'm dead serious. The universe took over, and what happened was I could not go to sleep properly because I kept on getting visions. Now, mind you, all right, she was my agent at the time, and I haven't seen her or talked to her in about 2.5, 3 months.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I'm getting all these deep personal messages about her, and I wasn't even to the super psychic thing at the time. I just started.
Okay.
So here I am. I'm trying to go to sleep, and I go, "You got to tell her this. You got to tell her that." And it was really bugging the shit out of me. This went on for like 3 days. So I called her up and I said, "Kath, I got to talk to you about something." She goes, "What?" And I said, "I got these visions, which I never do before." And I said, "I literally cannot sleep, but they're all about you." I said, "Do you want me to tell you what I got? Because it's very personal. Or do you want me to just leave it and that's it?" She goes, "No, go for it." So I was speaking to her for like about 10, 15 minutes, just telling all my feelings and everything. I said, "I have no clue what I just said to you." I said, "Is there anything that I said to you make any sense to you whatsoever?" And she goes, "You want to know something more?" She goes, "That's crazy because you're telling me things only I know. My best friends don't know. My family doesn't know. My fiance, nobody knows what you just told me." And I had a shot go throughout my spine. And I was like, whoa. And because I was the only one ever in her life to reach this beautiful girl on such a deep, emotional, spiritual level, it's almost like the Beauty and the Beast. Seriously. It's like
it didn't matter.
It didn't matter at that point. The thing is, it's like, oh my God, this guy knows me. He reads me. He feels me. And it's like, so all of a sudden.
Maybe that's what she needs. Everybody sees her and puts her on this pedestal, and it's like.
And it was all from the exterior.
You see the beast in her. You see the, you know what I mean? You see the dirty. Really?
Right.
I mean, sometimes, even if you don't want to, right?
So I read into her, and I wasn't even trying. I was just being very genuine because, again, I'm looking at this girl. It's like she's totally out of my league. She's totally engaged. I'm totally married. I said, it's not going to happen. And long story short, it's a big story to it, but a long story short, we ended up dating. I no longer was with my wife. She was no longer with her fiance. We ended up dating, and then magic happened. And we were together for like 11 and a half years and all. Nice. So it was a hell of a ride. And my brothers, when I first introduced her to my brothers, and I didn't bring my parents to this meeting, it was just my brothers at the restaurant. They were like this, looking at her, looking at me, looking at her.
You can see
and
the
said,
scales,
"What are you doing with him?" It doesn't make sense. She can get any guy in the world she wants. She was a runner-up for Miss Wisconsin back in the 80s.
Nice.
Yeah, she was like, she was a world-traveled model. She was a world-traveled model. She was an actress. She had it all going on. And I'll tell you, it's like like a song says, when you fall in love with a beautiful woman, oh my God, makes you feel really insecure. It took me a few years. It took me about 3 years to get my manhood, to get my confidence. Seriously, for 3 years.
If you want to be happy for the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Never make a jeez.
But now, today, even though we're not together, after a while when you're with somebody, the looks don't matter. All that goes away.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you look at them as a person, and it's like everybody else is gawking at her and stuff. She's just used to it. It's just nothing, And plus, all her model friends are like the same thing.
Like, dude, is that your girlfriend? You're like, that pig? Because you don't see that. Like, you see the mess that she leaves behind her in the morning.
Yeah, it's totally different. It's totally different. But anyway, the premise of this story is that with everybody that I meet, even how I met you guys. It was the only reason why I'm here is because of my spirituality. It's just because.
So I still want to know: Are we gonna interview Dan Aykroyd or Tommy Chong? I'm sorry, I got to get back to business on that one. He's like, I'm gonna ask the cards again. Let me be right back with you.
I'm literally hearing a yes. I'm literally hearing a yes.
But stay on your shit.
But all of us, all of us, yes.
But you know what happens?
You just got to get a hold of their agents.
Well, so all right, so our guys know people that know people, but it's so
You have to get a hold of their agents if you want them. You can't just get a hold of them straight up.
yeah, that's what I've heard with Dan Aykroyd specifically, because there's a lot of fucking red tape with him, basically, because all the people in between, they want to get something or deal something or make sure it's the right thing. Or
Dan Aykroyd's got some cool stuff to talk about.
dude, I want to
know
talk
that.
crystal skulls and UFOs and
For
all the
real.
other occult shit with him.
Yeah,
like for real.
Hell yeah.
Dude, he's like one of my all-time favorites. I mean,
All that.
so many movies. So
The
many,
thing is, when you're with people like that, you can't put them that kind of on a pedestal.
no, it's we want to talk to him because we know how like
When you reach, so there's a reason why I never, ever discuss about my second wife when, the beauty queen, while I'm doing shows like that. But there's a reason why. Because at one point I did, and everyone put her on a pedestal.
Right,
No
yeah.
longer is not the case. And to this day, we are good friends. We're friendly. We're not friends, but we're friendly with each other.
Right.
Yeah, as you should be.
Yeah, and
when you
so
spend better than a decade with
everything's
somebody.
cool between us. Everything's very cool between us. But the reason why I guess I'm mentioning this story, there are no mistakes. The reason why I mention this story is that when you meet these people, they want you to reach them as a person and not how everybody else is talking about. So when you could relate, so the only reason, like when other people in the modeling world saw that she was with me rather than being with George Clooney type or Brad Pitt or whatever, which she was capable of, that's why, because I reach into her heart. So when you're talking to, find out what it is that is most personable with them and say, they would like to talk to you. They would like to talk to you about this topic or this, what means most to them. There's a girl who I know in Florida who's exceptionally gorgeous. And she literally said to me, she goes, I get so angry when people tell me that I'm pretty. She goes,
Right.
She says, I know I'm pretty. She goes, I want people to tell me they're happy to meet me for me, that I'm smart or that I'm nice or that I'm not that I'm pretty. I'm pretty. She goes, I'm tired of that. She goes, I don't want to hear that.
My dad told me a long time ago, he said, you got a pretty girl in front of you, you tell her she's smart. And if you got a smart girl, like a brainiac, you tell her she's beautiful.
You're right, dude.
Because that's the part that they're missing. Like, I know I'm beautiful. Like, I want to know that I'm caring and loving and you love to talk to me and, your heart's a flutter. Like, I don't want to just hear how hot, I know I'm hot. Like, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, when one of my girlfriends says, Artie, are you with me because of love or because of money? Because she was wealthy. And I said, honey, love, of course. I love your money. No, just joking. I was just joking.
These are jokes, people. These are jokes.
I'm not saying it's a prerequisite, but it's
I
certainly
love you
helps.
both equally the same. I'm an equal opportunist.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it certainly makes it easier, if you know what I'm saying,
I'm just saying.
No, I think that's probably
Yeah, we should take a break and then
hell yeah. Let's take our smoke them if you got them.
we'll take our short break and then we'll come back with the I'm telling you
I was gonna say we'll come back with the amazing Artie Hoffman, who's like super dope.
absolutely.
And is like, yeah, because he's this was just a test, people.
just a test.
I just want you to know you need to stretch yourself. So don't ever be content with what you have. You always need to stretch yourself for more, that you could do better or that you could, so don't look at anybody else as like, oh, they're out of reach or this is out of reach or we can't do. No, if you visualize yourself capable, then you will.
Don't we're all equals in this world. Like, don't look at anybody as if they're not.
Well, so all right, so
Don't have just as much value as I do.
Dude, real quick before we close, Larry Hankin, he played Mr. Heckles on Friends, and apparently when he does like interviews, that's all people berate him about. It's like, he's Mr. Heckles, and he's like, I could fucking care less about Friends. We didn't bring up Friends other than like a personal thing with me, and it wasn't even a question. It was more like, I just got to make this statement. But we had 55, actually more than that. We had like an hour.
It was
and
more
5
like
minutes.
my daughter wouldn't like me if I didn't mention this.
Yeah, if I didn't at least say something. And he made a great joke about it. But the fact that we never even touched Friends other than it was something personal to me and I just had to say something and we were done, he hit up our guy and like started talking to him. He was like, which he's apparently never done. And he's just like, hey, by the way, he's like, those guys were amazing. He's like, we talked like, I can't even tell you. And he was up front.
Talk to everybody with genuineness and them as a people and a person, and not just the glory, but about the struggles, about the what means most to them, their family, their best friends, their who meant the most to them. What was the epiphany in your life that was just amazing in your life, or who is your favorite person in the whole world, not just your favorite star, but was it your grandmother that was your star? Who was your star? Was it your father? Was it your best friend? Who is the star?
My grandma. I love my grandma. She was the dopest chick ever.
So when you could talk to people on a deep level like that, the genuineness, and that's what counts. What I'm thinking, I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I guess because what seems to be impossible. If you remember, I think it was the 69 Jets, were the Jets in the Super Bowl in the 69? I think. I'm not sure. Well, the Jets were like, I don't know, 13-point underdogs?
Yeah.
Or something like that. They were major
I recall
underdogs.
The story.
And so he was being interviewed in the locker room while he was getting his gear on. Joe Namath, he was getting his gear on. And they said, so do you think you have a chance to win the Super Bowl? He goes, I guarantee you we're going to win this Super Bowl. He goes, I guarantee it. And they won it because he had such a heart. It's not the fastest that wins the race. It's not the strongest that wins the fight. It's the one with the biggest heart.
Yes.
That's what wins.
Preach, Artie Hoffman.
And that's a great place to end this episode.
Fucking A right. Dude, this guy is dope as shit. I can't
You go, girl.
back and do
You go, girl.
But I think we're ready to take a break so we can stretch and warm up for,
Yes, please.
for ITY.
Break. Didn't I do enough damage?
Like you said, it's the tip of the iceberg. So.
Well, yeah, because the last time it was beer, this time it was water, so it balanced out.
Iceberg, Goldberg, what's the difference? It's all good.
So, everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. This has been another Green Room brought to you by.
You said that beautifully.
Mr. Gemini.
Bleep, Lord, bleep. You sent someone in to torch me. Philly D.
Oh,
Do it again.
can't hear nothing. Okay, this is sign language going on.
Oh,
so-
no. Somehow
Wait,
she's muted, but she's
I
not.
think you should do her. You do a better job.
Clickety clack of fact checking, Miss JD.
So we're gonna take a break. It was nice having you, and
Yeah, push that button and be good to yourself.
definitely reach out to us though. Continue the conversation at ity@directionsinmusic.org. Hit us up individually if you'd like, because that would get all of us at GEMINI@directionsinmusic.org
Or PHILLY at directionsinmusic.org.
and
As always, be good to yourself. Be good to everyone else.
much love.
Peace.
Amen.
Peace.
Where's the mouse?